So today on Is It Worth It, I've got an exclusive look at the brand new MG4. This is MG's first full electric hatchback 5-door, but it's actually meant to be a bit of a game changer because the cost of this is quite competitive, coming in at around 25 to 26 grand for a full electric car. I'm going to give it a full test drive and review and find out is it worth it. However, what's more important though is we'd like to know what you think. So let us know in the comment section below after the video if you think it's worth it. Quite exciting news for MG. It was a British marquee brand, and around 2005, a Chinese company called SAIC bought the badge. They're actually looking to develop the MG brand a lot further with the MSP platform. So they've built this all-electric platform from the ground up. So let's have a look at the front design on the MG4. And first off, you've got this lowered hood, which I really like, an indent on the bonnet with this piercing kind of sharp blade look LED design. I really like it, and they're daytime running headlights as well. You've even got some side air ducts which air passes through over the tyres to help with aerodynamics. And then at the bottom here, you've got this kind of enlarged splitter here, some fake carbon fibre inserts on the bottom there as well. But on the front there, you've got the MG emblem. It looks smart, it looks dramatic, but also purposeful as well. I really do like it. If you do enjoy this content, which I'm hoping you do, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do. This is the SE trim, the entry level. You get 17-inch alloys as standard, and you've got the MG hubcaps on with the MG logo in the middle. In higher trims, you can get a two-tone sort of setup, and you've got a different array of colours, and you can get foldable wing mirrors on the higher trims. The continuation of the black plastic on the side develops all the way along the side skirts in this sporty kind of pattern, but also you've got this singular crease line here on the belt line, which then just dissolves nicely, and then a top one here. And at the back, you don't get the twin rear spoiler, you've just got the sort of ducktail spoiler at the back. You've got the LEDs which do wrap around with some sort of red LED prism design. It looks really futuristic. It's quite a big hatchback, to be fair. You could almost say it does look a tiny bit like an SUV, but overall it's got quite a low stance, but also when you're inside you feel quite high up. So let's have a look at the boot space. And this isn't an electric tailgate, just push it up as manual. But as you can see, the design from the LED lights kind of poke out a bit as well. Now, MG promise 363 litres of boot space, which isn't class leading, but it is good. So it's not as big as the Golf, but it's still enough boot space. On the side here, you've got a little compartment here which you can overturn, and it just gives you a bit more of a padded surface for the dogs, safer, etc. Got some cable hooks here, a little light there, and a little cubby hole here to put some stuff in. The good news about the MG4 is you've got no high load lip, so getting stuff in is pretty easy. Now, you do get your standard compression kit, you don't get a spare wheel. And of course you've got the parcel shelf which can be taken out, and the rear seats do fold all the way down as well. All in all though, boot space isn't too bad, and I do feel there's lots of space in there for a weekend away. So what's the interior like inside the MG4? And first off, what is surprising, because of the low roofline, you do actually get quite a lot of headroom, and it is quite a spacious cabin as well. Heads up first though, you've got a big 10-inch entertainment touchscreen. Now you do get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay standard, which is great. The touchscreen itself works reasonably well most of the time. However, when driving, you do have to fiddle around and go into some menus for some driving mode. They have saved you though. You have got some tactile buttons here just for your quick access keys. Also, you get a 7-inch digital cluster here. There's no heads-up display, but you can opt for that in the higher trim as well. To say this is the entry level, it's not too bad as well. The display and the graphics are easy enough to see, they're bright, and they look fairly modern. What's the materials like? So you've got some hard plastics here, but they do feel rather good. Along the dash here, it's quite tough but soft rubber, feels really cool. And along the top here, you've actually got a huge soundbar which stretches from one side of the dash to the other, so the sound quality is really good as well. Now the center console looks really cool with this mat here where you can put your phone on, but it's not wireless charging in the entry level model. You do have to pop it on, so it really does just take up a bit of space for nothing really. In the middle you've got your rotator gear selector, which is really good. I love how to stop the car, you just need to pop it in park and you can walk out. You don't need to push a stop and start button. When you get in the car, foot on the brake and then straight into drive, dead easy. It can just feel a little plasticky around here. It's It's strong enough, but I just feel like I'm always hitting my knee off the side of it, and it just can be a little irritating. Now in the centre console, remember we've got no transmission tunnel, it's a full electric car. You've got two decent sized cup holders in the centre. Underneath here you've got 12-volt socket, standard USB and a USB-C as well. You've got a shutter drawer here so you can hide some stuff in there, and a deep cubby hole in here. There's no USB in there, but you get really nice leather on top with some blue stitching as well. The steering wheel, it's quite big, it's quite different actually, it's a bit hectagonal design. I wasn't keen on it at first, but do you know what? The more I drove it, the more I got used to it, and it kind of suited the car. You do feel high up, and also you get a really good view and visibility of the road. Visibility at the rear is a bit of a letterbox scenario because of that sloping roof. You've got some really decent sized vanity mirrors, a glasses holder here, your lights here, and SOS as well. So let's check out the practicality in the back. First off, again, I just want to touch on headroom. You have a sort of raised ride height compared to your passenger and driver due to the battery on the floor. Your knees don't touch the driver's seat, it's really nice, loads of leg room, and remember there's no transmission tunnel. Passenger room in the middle, well, do you know what, you are kind of just touching the roof line, and I'm near 6'2", but do you know what, for small journeys it would be absolutely fine. Passengers either side, you've got your Isofix here that you can store away as well, but there is no armrest that folds down. In the middle you do get a cubby hole which is quite deep, pop some stuff in, but you only get one USB port in the back, and that's just a standard USB. You've got electric windows that do fold all the way down. You've got a little hook to put your coat on, and loads of room to get in and out. The door sills are quite big in the MG4. It's hard plastic. It feels okay, and you've got some leather there. It does feel a little underwhelming compared to the front, but all in all, it's actually quite comfortable. You've got a really good view from outside. You haven't got a small window. Yeah, I think for long journeys you'll be absolutely fine. So I'm quite impressed with the room in the back of here. I'm just impressed with how easy it starts up. With this key, all you need to do, just walk up to the car, sit in the car, and everything starts up. You don't need to press the start and stop button. I really like that. And also, when you get out of the car, pop it into park, walk away from the car, lock it, all done. You don't need to faff around with a start and stop button. Oh, is the car running off? I don't know. That's brilliant. Really easy to use. The seating position's great. Feels quite comfy. You could definitely do long journeys in this car. It's not a problem. And I love how tall the cabin is as well. Loads of headroom. I like how you've got different driving modes. I just wish they were a bit more easier to find instead of going through the menus. The touchscreen can be a little fiddly whilst you're driving. Then you can also change the regenerative braking, so you can have it really low. If you put it down to quite sharp, it can stop quite abruptly. So it seems to pull away quite well. It doesn't give up halfway, it just plows on through. It seems to hold really well around the bends. It's not amazingly brisk. And I tell you what, I've never had a more reactive lane keep assist. As soon as you're an inch close to that line, it'll drag you right back. Yeah, I really do feel it's going above and beyond of what is expected around this price bracket. So let's wrap up this video on the new MG4. It just shows electric cars don't need to be as expensive as they are now, but also it's definitely given a run to some premium brands and what they're offering in terms of an electric car. But this, you know what, it's a good all-round package. I'm actually quite impressed how a Chinese brand has kind of revived MG, and I think anyone looking for an MG4 wouldn't be disappointed. Let us know in the comment section below what you think of this new MG4. A big shout out to the MG branch in Chorley of the Chorley Group for letting us review this new MG4. If you are interested and would like to know more, I'll leave a link in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the next one on Is It Worth It?